Sure it's going good. That's fine. Don't worry about it. What's going on, Big Wolf? Let me flip over here to this thing so I can see what I'm looking at. All right, cool. What's going on, everyone? Hey, so we're getting started here on this live. I haven't done a live all the way since April of this year, so it's been quite some time. So bear with me if I have any issues going through this, but I'm here to answer some requests for your guys' company request. We'll do some live research on them for about 10 minutes, and then we'll move on to the next company. Hopefully we can answer some questions, figure out a little bit of information about the company itself, and go from there. This is not going to replace any deep dives. I will still be doing the deep dives, but I got to doing some math, and you guys know how big of math nerds I am if you watch the channel for any period of time. And basically, I found out that if I were to do every company that had over 100 trucks, there's 500,000 trucking companies out there. So it would take me over 2,000 years to complete all those companies. So that's why I wanted to get on and do these lives. I might do these once a month, but I'm here to answer any questions you guys have. I'll do some Q&A and also dive into any of these companies that you're curious about and see what we can find in a quick 10-minute little spurt of looking into things. So welcome in, everybody. I see Young Spade got the first comment. Big Wolf 61 said, what's up? What's up, Big Wolf? How are you? Darko says, yo, Darko, you're in my Discord server. I just seen you in there today. I appreciate you for being there, buddy. Yeah, any companies you guys got that you guys are wanting to look at, I don't have any list of them that I'm ready to look at. I'm here for you guys to help you guys find out some more information about these trucking companies. So any requests you guys got, put them down there in the comments and I should see them momentarily. Non-domicile CDLs, yes, they are no longer issuing non-domicile CDLs, and they've put a hold on renewing those. Any further updates on that, I haven't heard anything about, but it's definitely something to be of concern. I'm not really sure how I feel about it. I do agree with the safety measures that are being taken place to protect drivers out here on the road. Obviously, recently we've seen a bunch of accidents happening with folks that don't understand the English language, that are having CDLs issued unfairly. I've seen several videos of people taking fake tests or having earpieces in, answering the questions. This is not safe out on the road, guys. Whether it's whoever it is getting a CDL, I'm all about it. Come work, come make some money, and come move some stuff in here in America. But we want to make sure it's safe. That's the bottom line. So I'm all on board with that. That's what I got for the non-domicile CDLs. If you want more like trucking news, Mother Trucker is a good place to look. He's a great guy over here on YouTube. I try to stay out of some of that stuff just because basically I'm here to help drivers out and give information for drivers, whether it be with a trucking company. I don't like putting my opinion in a whole lot because really, who cares about my opinion? We want to know the facts. We want to know information. So that's where I'm at as far as the news and things like that. If it's something big, I'll report on. But overall, I just want to help you guys make the best out of your career and get started in this industry. I know there's so many things that I messed up when I got started. So I want to help people avoid those things. For instance, let's see who's in here real quick before I carry on with that. Free Roll Kings, what's up, buddy? Good evening. How are you? Nicholas Powell agrees with what I'm saying. Western Express, hey, buddy, we just did a deep dive on Western Express. Let's see about some other companies here. Air Products, I'm not sure what's that big crypto company. Okay, here, let me write Air Products down. Air Products, we'll get started looking for them. And then I lost my train of thought on that. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look, see if there's Air Products, big cryo company. Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about those tankers for like oxygen and things like that. Let's see what we can find here. So we're flipping over here. We got the live chat going. Sorry, I don't have that on my main. We're just in Google. We're going to look up Air Products. Oh, geez, I can't type. I am not like a tech genius. I'm just a freaking trucker. Air Products. Okay. Industrial gas supplier. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking it was. So let's go ahead and click on their website first. No, sure, I'll accept cookies, I guess. Oh, careers. Why work here? Let's see what they're offering. Health insurance plans, paid vacation, leave of absence, life insurance, personal accident. Okay, New York Times article. I'm not really interested in that. Careers. Let's see. Careers overview. We're looking for drivers here. I'm guessing a company like this has so many different positions, from manufacturers to, here we go, professional truck drivers. Let's see. Search job openings. Okay, cool. So we got our first trucking company request in here. We're looking at Air Products or any natural gas. So it looks like they have a few locations here. And I'm just going to go for about 10 minutes on this, see what I can find out. Locations: Mississippi, Florida, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Wisconsin, Indiana, California, Arizona, and Washington. So if you're living in this area, there's really not a whole lot going on. Seems like this is more of like a regional job just based off of their locations here. Let's see this, just because this is close to me, see what's there. CDL local truck driver out of Brookhaven, Mississippi. This web page is extremely outdated. Home daily, two consecutive days off per week. Now, when it says consecutive like that, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's the weekend, but you're going to have 2 days off at a time. So it could be like a Wednesday and Thursday, whatever it is. Quarterly safety bonus of up to 6%. Okay, so it says safety and performance bonuses of up to 6%. And there's that key phrase that we look at when we do these deep dives, up to. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get that 6%. So be cautious of that. Obviously, we're not going to be calling the driver recruiters or anything today. Paid training and company provided PPE. Okay, so this is training for hauling their specific types of gas. Check out our videos on YouTube. Meet the women that move with us. Okay, so they're heavily encouraging female drivers to apply, which is good. That's an interesting thing. Side note, the women in the industry of trucking has grown exponentially over the last 10 years since I've started driving even. I might see a lady out on the road maybe once every couple of months when I started, but now it's almost every day you see a lady in trucking, which is really cool to see that that's spreading out for females as well. Okay, so a bunch of medical plans, 401k, paid vacation, holidays, and sick days. We're trying to look for some pay here. Let's see if we can find something pay. Paid parental leave of up to 8 weeks for both parents. Okay, that's interesting. So if you're getting into trucking and you still haven't made a family yet, they're going to pay for you to have some leave for up to 8 weeks for both parents, male and female, which is really cool. We're going to take a pause here and... Okay, here's the big kicker, guys. So if you're looking as a new driver, this isn't it for you. We're looking at 3 years of recent experience driving Class A vehicles, high school diploma equivalent, tanker hazmat, 0 at-fault accidents within the last 3 years, no more than 1 moving violation in the last 3 years. Now, a moving violation could be anything from speeding or blowing a stop sign or anything like that. Obviously dangerous things, but at the same time, when we talk to that DOT cop, there are police officers out there targeting semi-trucks, and that's their whole purpose. So the statistics too on it, a truck driver will drive about 100,000 miles per year, whereas the average civilian will drive about 15,000 miles a year. So statistically speaking, you're more likely to get a violation just being out there for so long. So this does require 3 years of experience for drivers to apply with them. It does look like they have some good plans. They are not showing anything as far as pay, unfortunately, on this one. We are about 5 minutes into this. I want to catch up on some comments here real quick, and then I doubt they're going to give anything for pay, but we'll take a quick look on Indeed and see what they have to say. All right, we're looking at Air Products. Is it profitable to go lease operator in 2026? Okay, so there's a big difference between a lease operator and a lease purchase driver. A lease operator is somebody who owns their own truck and they're putting it on with a company and they're using their DOT numbers, their MC numbers, their trailers, everything. They're just literally owning the truck. In 2026, I'm not sure. I have a really good friend of mine who's been out there doing it for the last 3 years, doing the exact same thing. And boy, oh boy, is he struggling. He hasn't been able to take a whole lot of time off. Maybe once a year he gets home. So if that's something that you're interested in, maybe you'll have to go with a good company. He's been with some pretty decent companies too. It's just the market is so bad. Um, yeah, so I'm not sure about that. Barr-Nunn, let's see about that. Barr-Nunn and GP Transco. Okay. Euclid Trucking. Okay, so there's some more requests in here. We'll get to them as much as we can in this live stream. We're only going to go for about an hour here. A couple more minutes here left on this Air Products. Let's go over to Indeed and see if we can find anything. Oh, geez, where am I typing? Okay, Air Products, Indeed, reviews. Let's see if we can put in truckers here. Working as a truck driver. Okay, just some quick reviews. 3.7 stars. That's not bad. But again, this company requires 3 years of experience. So this is for people who've been doing it for a while. If you're looking for your first company, again, that's not it. HVG Class 1 driver, now run by micromanagement. If you're looking for a long-term future, then this is not the job. Okay, I'm trying to see if we can see anything. Salaries. Okay, let's click over here on salaries. If you guys want to go look, Indeed's a great place. Google reviews are a little iffy, but yeah. Okay, so local drivers are making $89,000 a year. Contract managers, nobody cares about that. Tanker drivers at $90,000 per year. That's pretty dang good, but again, they require 3 years of experience. Solo drivers at $109,000. And then a regular driver, I'm not sure the difference between these, $88,000. Yep, so as far as pay, you're looking at $90,000 for a tanker driver. Solo drivers at $109,000, which is surprising if this is like a box truck or anything like that, that's paying more than what a tanker's getting paid. But that's also got more salaries reported. Overall, for 3 months of experience, or sorry, for 3 years of experience, already making about $100,000 a year, depending on how much you're working, I would say go for it. If you got the experience to do it, it's a specialized field too, so not a lot of people are going after something like that. You're going to have your hazmat and things like that, but overall, I'm going to go ahead and give the verdict of go for it. Yeah, I mean, especially anything that requires experience. It seems like a relatively large company still, so you might have some of those issues as far as management and things like that, but overall, it seems like Air Products is a good place to go. We're going to go ahead and see about moving on to the next one, see if you guys got any comments here. U.S. Foods. Used rubbers. Hey, buddy, it looks like you just tapped out here, but he is actually up here on this board. That's actually Jake. Let me see if I can flip to this. Yeah, Jake is in this truck right here, rocking and rolling over there at Bison. He's doing a great job. Actually looking to get out, unfortunately. He found a better deal that's going to get him more money, but he's been doing it for a few months, and I highly encourage everybody to keep it moving on their career. You could be satisfied with the company, but want a little bit more money, keep it moving along. Do those food guys make bank but have to offload their trucks at restaurants? I would not want to do food delivery service. I did bread deliveries for a little while, and I made it 3 months. It was just far too much work offloading those ramps for not enough money. I think I was making $17 an hour at the time doing that. I know things have changed over the years, but it just was not worth it in my opinion, especially up in Indiana dealing with the snow and stuff. Yeah, it was rough. Got to do drop and hook Monday, used rubbers, okay. Do one with Schneider. Hey, I did a deep dive on Schneider already. Check it out on my channel in the OK or No Way playlist. Did a whole deep dive. However, one of my Discord members, if you haven't signed up for Discord, get in there and chat with everybody. We're learning new stuff all the time about what these companies are changing. But nevertheless, he just wrote a review about his first couple of months. He's fixing to get in his solo truck. He's loving it over there. He appreciates the training he did. It was really quick and moving along, but he did it and got through it. And so far, overall, he is enjoying his experience over there. So we'll leave that one at that. Um, I dated a girl from Plymouth, Massachusetts. That's awesome. Massachusetts. Did you have to deal with the accent? Oh, good Lord. I don't know if I could do that. Okay. All right. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next company here, which we have Barr-Nunn on here. And I actually was looking at doing a deep dive on them, but did see that they do require experience. But we could take a quick look at them and see what they're all about. Excuse me. It's a lot of talking. I got to take some drinks here and there. Mama sweet tea. Love it. Thank you, babe. Let's see. Where were we at? Barr-Nunn. Barr-Nunn Trucking. All right, like I said before, guys, request companies that maybe smaller companies or anything like that. This is not going to replace deep dives, but we're just going to take a quick look here. There's over 500,000 trucking companies in the United States that have over 100 trucks. In order to do a deep dive on those, it would take me over 2,000 years. It's just not possible to cover every one of those. But if we can cover 5 in an hour period here, just doing a quick deep dive, or a quick shallow dive is what I'm calling it actually, we might be able to find something. All right, so anybody want to give a zip code? Who requested Barr-Nunn here? Let's see. Barr-Nunn was pretty early on here. Barr-Nunn, Billy Mills, 3893. Do you want to give a zip code over by you? This way we can get a little bit better information since you're the one requesting it. I could give one of mine, but all right. Let's see. Did we get a zip code? Okay, we'll just go ahead and use a Chattanooga zip code here for this Barr-Nunn, and then see what they got. 37341. Okay, we got an over-the-road solo truck driver. Expected annual earnings of $94,000 to $109,000 a year. Run for 18 days, then home for 5. That sounds like some great home time. That's a little bit over 2 weeks, about 2.5 weeks out for 5 days home. You can't beat that. And if you're still earning that, I'm not sure what their cents per mile is. Anytime you call these driver recruiters, again, find the cents per mile, find the hourly rate, whatever it is, and then figure out what their average miles per week is. You guys have seen my deep dives. You know what it's all about. Okay. All right, so a hazmat endorsement is going to get you 68 cents per mile with 9 to 29 months of experience. Okay, so you need to have at least 9 months of experience to go over here for Barr-Nunn. Without a hazmat, you're at 65 cents per mile. 65 cents per mile is not bad for 9 months of experience. If you can get in at that low number and hang out there, 30 months of experience, you're looking at, what's that, 3. Oh my gosh, why is my brain not mathing right now? Hey, good news, we got a fancy calculator here. Oh, sorry, I wasn't on the right page. All right, sorry, we're over here looking at their website. 30 months divided by 12 months. I don't know why my brain isn't braining. 2.5 years. Okay, so for 2.5 years of experience with a hazmat, 70 cents per mile, 67 cents for non-hazmat drivers. But again, like I was saying, 9 to 12 months of experience required for Barr-Nunn, 68 cents per mile with a hazmat, 65. Even if you don't have a hazmat, that's still pretty good for only having 9 months of experience. CSA safety bonus opportunity every 90 days, $875 if you have a hazmat, or $700 plus 8 hours of paid time off. Okay, so if you have the hazmat and every 90 days you get a CSA safety score, and if it is above their requirements, I'm not sure what their requirements are, you can get a sizable bonus or some paid time off. Over-the-road safety bonus opportunity of $600 every 90 days. So some bonuses, but again, like I've said before in these deep dives, we don't look at really bonuses. Those aren't guaranteed. Stuff could happen out on the road. It happens all the time. So just be looking at this. So let's pull up the calculator here. What did they say as far as the pay? 94 to 109. 94 to 109. Sorry, I'm writing all this down. And at 65 cents per mile, we can do this kind of backwards here and figure out how much you would need to drive in order to get those numbers. Let's go here, back to the calculator. All right, so let's start at the bottom here, $94,000 a year. Oh, that's one too many, ain't it? Yep, $94,000 a year divided by 52 weeks in a year is $1,870 a year is what you would need to make in order to get that total. So we would divide that number by 65 cents per mile, divide that by 65 cents per mile, and that is not right. Oh, I did 65, that's what it was. Okay, we'll get back up here. Back, 0.65. So in order to get that, that's not terrible. It really isn't. I would estimate that this is a correct number. You would need to drive 2,781 miles per week at 65 cents per mile to meet this bottom end goal here of $94,000 a year. And I'm guessing this $109,000 a year is for somebody with the more experience or doing the hazmat. But at the bottom line, if you can make $94,000 a year with these guys, that's pretty good for just 9 months of experience. So this, again, is another one of those companies that it's going to be one that you got to have some experience for. So if you're tired of dealing with CR England or something like that, and you're ready to move on to another company, this might be a good option for you. Health insurance, rider program, 401k, PTO time. Okay, so maybe they pay for the time off there. That'd be pretty cool. Okay, operating states here. It looks like Northeast regional areas for Barr-Nunn. So that's another factor too. If you don't live in those areas, that might be problematic. 9 months of verifiable experience, no DUIs, 7 years. In the past 7 years, okay. DWIs, not DUIs. No more than 3 moving violations in the past 3 years. That shouldn't be too bad to hit. Pre-employment drug screen, physical, all that fun stuff. No preventable or reportable accidents in the last 3 years. No drug test refusal or failure, okay. They're driving Cascadias and Kenworths, inverters. If you guys want more information, it looks like they got a ton of stuff over here on their website to look at. Reviews, let's go ahead and give a quick look here for Barr-Nunn. See if the salary is lining up. Barr-Nunn Trucking, reviews, indeed. All right, so we're looking at their salaries here. It is listed on their website, but you know how that goes. Sometimes it's just not right. Truck drivers, $2,044 a week. That's a little bit more than what that was saying on their website, which is a good thing. So if drivers are reporting that it's a higher number than what the math is doing, great. If not, then, you know, it might be a problem. Seems like they're roughly in the same region too. So differences from California to Alabama as far as pay rate, it's not going to be much of a difference. So it's good to see $119,000 a year for team drivers. Van drivers is $1,900 per week, which is spot on with what they're saying on their website. So that's good news. Driver, $50,000 per year. I'm not sure what that might be, a driver for something else, because these numbers are not the same as what that is. So overall, like I said, Barr-Nunn seems like a good option, but again, you're going to need some experience. So if you're tired of dealing with some of those trucking companies that are screwing you around, the CR Englands, the Western Expresses, yeah, take a look at Barr-Nunn. Always give the recruiters a phone call. And the reason why I have a hard time giving people a specific answer, what company should you go to work for, is because everybody is looking for something different. Somebody might want more pay, somebody might want more home time, somebody might want to be out on the road and take their dog with them. Some companies don't allow pets to ride along in the truck, so this is a big factor for certain people. So everybody's looking for something different. For me personally, home time is really important to me right now. That's why I'm a local driver. All right, let's take a look here at these comments. Has anyone checked out Bison? Actually, Used Rubbers, who was in here in the comments, is currently working for Bison. So come on over to the Discord server and ask some questions in there. He is enjoying it, but he found an opportunity that's going to serve him a little bit better long term. So he's moving on up to the next company. Fair play. But overall, he said he enjoyed his experience working flatbed over there at Bison. Let's see here. Estes pays great if you have a year of experience. Yeah, all the LTL companies, and the big issue with these guys is the fact that everybody wants them. So they're really sought after. That means the job openings and job availability isn't really always there. So they're winning high-class drivers. They're wanting drivers with all three of the big endorsements, doubles, triples, hazmat, as well as, what's the other one, tanker. And the reason why they're using tanker is because they are hauling big jugs, 75-gallon drums of stuff. So those require a tanker license if you're hauling that much. So all of the big LTL companies, FedEx, UPS, R&L, Estes, Saya, I think Saya is more food service actually, but yeah, all these big LTL companies that you see hauling the doubles and triples, those are highly sought after, but they're all good companies from what I can tell. Now, I will say that FedEx they only hire contractors, meaning that they only hire folks that already own their trucks, and they use those trucks contracted on with FedEx. So in order to get into FedEx, you're going to have to find one of those contractors and go to work for them, actually, pooling FedEx loads. So it's kind of a confusing thing there, but we'll get there. Also, do trucking companies care about work history if it's not related to DOT or FMCSA? Yes, actually leading up until your first truck driving job, your work history, I think they're looking more for stability, that you're not bouncing around a ton, especially for your first truck driving job. They are investing a lot of time into training you, a lot of money into training you. They want to see that you're going to stick it out with them for a little while, even if you don't. Nobody's going to really care at the end of the day. Once you get into trucking and get some experience, nobody really cares about how much you bounce around. All right, so pass PTL. All right, so since you guys are in the live stream, you get a sneak peek to this. I've actually called the recruiting department of PTL, and they have shut down their training program currently. So they do require 4 months of experience. From what I found out from them, I did find a little bit more information, but the way I'm working these deep dives is I'm trying to get the no experience required out of the way first. And this way, when you guys are finishing up with your training company, you're ready to move on to something else, I'm already lining up the deep dives with some companies that require some experience so that you guys can just come back on by and check out another deep dive and look into those companies as you're moving on through your career. And eventually I will be cycling back around to Warner and starting fresh again. And I'm hoping to keep this channel alive for a very long time, just using this method and this thought process here. And it's going to be tough to keep it going that long, but as far as companies are constantly changing their format, new reviews are coming in, drivers have different experiences. So I think we can keep it going for a long time. But again, like I said, I'm trying to find all of the companies that I can that require some experience, that do not require any experience or offer a CDL training program, and get that information out to you guys as quick as possible. Then we'll move on to some more experience. So that's how I'm working those deep dives. And sneak peek also with PTL, I started my trucking company with PTL, or I started my trucking career with PTL. Now I will tell you, when I started 10 years ago, it's completely different from the way they operate things now. So my experience isn't really going to be relevant. But as in any other major carrier, they're there to serve a purpose, and that's to get you your training. All right, we're going to go here and move on to the next company that I got written down, which is the GP Transco. Let me take a drink real quick. Thanks a lot. No refresher. What about PTL? Hoping for a Pepsi or Coke hires new drivers for my wife's sake. I don't think so. I'm not positive. We can take a look here in this in this live stream here. We're going to go for about another 30 minutes on this live stream, and then I got to go get my kids. But we'll take a quick look at Pepsi and Coke and see if they hire new drivers, but I doubt it, to be honest. So I'm going to mark that on my list here. Pepsi, Coke, Coca-Cola, whatever. I got the idea. All right. Moving on here to GP Transco. Let's see what we can find out. Good Lord, I can't type. All right, so we already GP Transco website here. Company drivers can now earn up to extra $7,400 a year for a driving score. Okay. So I'm guessing they offer some sort of safety bonus or something like for that part. Talk to a recruiter. Industry leading pay. Everybody and their mama's got industry leading pay. We're looking at $72,000 to $80,000 a year at 63 to 65 cents per mile. Okay, we're looking right around the same territory here as that Barr-Nunn as far as pay goes. 60 cents per mile base. Oh, okay, so they're being tricky here. I didn't even catch that. The first thing my eye caught to is the 63 to 65 cents per mile. I didn't even see, and you guys are kind of hidden behind this live chat. Let me see if I can move that real quick. Move that chat box over here. All right, cool. All right, so yeah, I didn't even see this 60 cents per mile base pay. My attention was just drawn to the 63 to 65. So they do these tricky games, and it drives me nuts. I wish they would just give this is what you're going to make. Nice and simple. All right, 63 cents per mile to 65. So let's go ahead and mark that down. 63, 65, 72 to 80K. All right, we got that marked down there. Outstanding equipment. Everybody has great equipment. At least they advertise that. Annual pay raises. Drivers receive a 1 cent per mile raise every year. That's a terrible raise. A 1 cent per mile raise is literally nothing. Okay, local are doing this. Short hauls, 250 miles or less, home daily. Regional is home weekly. Over the road is 2 to 3 weeks out, 2,500 miles plus a week. All right, we got our another number here for over the road. Let's go ahead and take a look. 2,500 plus miles a week. All right, so let's see if these numbers line up. Let's pull up a calculator here. Basically the same thing I'm doing in my deep dives here, I'm doing right here, except for I'm not calling the driver recruiter, going as deep into other drivers' experiences or things like that. So 2,500 miles a week times 63 cents per mile is 750. Nope, hang on, I did that wrong. My bad. 63 cents per mile. Okay, it's $15.75 a week times 52 weeks in a year. It's putting you at $81,900 pre-tax. So that's even over that bottom number. Oh, that's right. Okay, I messed up. This is why I hardly do live streams, because I mess up all the time. And recording, I can just edit that crap out. 50 times, let's do 60 cents per mile, because we don't know about the bonuses for sure or not, whether we're going to get those. So 60 cents per mile, $1,500 per week. Let me write that down. $1,500 a week. And this is for GP. And then we are multiplying that by 52 weeks a year. Again, this number is pre-tax though. $78,000 a year. Okay, so it's in the range there. They said $72,000 to $80,000, so they're not lying on their pay. A lot of places will say that high number there of up to blah 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 a year, and it's something completely different. So they're not lying on that part. Let's see what else they offer. Driver careers here. Driver benefits. And it's literally just as simple, guys, to go in and check out some of the information that they have. They have a 401k requirement or retirement, paid holidays, driver recognition bonuses, health insurance, Ooh, 1250 minimum guaranteed. In situations where slow weeks occur through no fault of your own, we guarantee a pay of $1,250 a week. Limitations apply. Please speak with a recruiter for full details for clarity and fluency. Now, if this is 100% correct, we can pull that up on the calculator too. Clear that out. So imagine you're just out on the road, stuck, your truck's down, you can't do nothing. You're going to get that minimum guarantee. Let's see how much you're going to make a year. 1,250 times 52 weeks in a year. At minimum, you're going to make $65,000 a year. Not bad at all. Excuse me. Yeah, so there's the minimum guarantee. I'm trying to figure out what their requirements are to work here. I doubt this is a zero experience required. Referral bonus, home time, blah, 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 blah. Let's go ahead and shut that down there. Experience, driving careers. Driver highlights, no. Okay, let's just see if we can do a regular Google search on this. Nice and simple. How much experience does GP Transco require? Boom. Okay, just a quick Google search will get you the answers to most of the questions you guys have. GP Transco generally requires a minimum of 1 year of verifiable over-the-road experience. Now, this is the AI overview, but they are using sources. Over here are the sources that they're using to pull that information. They do want a clean driving record, skills, strong DOT knowledge, good communication, and time management. Okay, so they do require a year of experience. And we are getting close here, guys, to finishing up all the companies that don't require a whole lot of experience, and we'll be moving on to more experienced companies. It seems like they're honest. Let me see if I can pull up a quick Indeed review to see if we can find anything. Indeed, GP Transco driver review. Working at GP Transco. What is this? Okay, there we go. GP Transco's got a 3.7 stars, pretty good. Overall, mostly 5 stars. I'm not going to sit here and read through all the reviews on this. I'll save that stuff for the deep dives. But over 153 reviews here, mostly 5 stars. I mean, seriously, it's pretty simple to look at just on a base level. I'd say, again, go for it. If you got a year of experience, absolutely give them a call, see what they're all about. I would be hesitant about these up-tos. A lot of these things are call for more details about certain things. Speak to a recruiter. They're literally telling you on the website, go talk to a recruiter. Call them up, see if the things that they require, see if what they're offering is something that you're interested in, and then go from there. But it seems like once you got a year of experience, this might be a good place to move. It depends on what company you're at. You guys got to shape your career the way you want it, but overall, seems like it's going to be okay. All right, let's take a look at these comments here we got going in. Pepsi, Coke. Any word on PTI? That's Paper Transport International or Paper Transport something. I have not done any research on them. Tyson, if you could please. We are running out of time here. We got about 20 minutes, and then I have actually got to go get my kids. So I might do another one of these. Leave in the comments, how often would you like me to do a quick deep dive like this? This is not replacing the main deep dives, but shallow dives like this. Are you guys enjoying it? Would you guys like to see more of these? Leave that over there in the comments, and I'll see if I can do more of these. We're cooking right along. We got 3 companies looked at in just a short time. We've only been rolling here for about 38 minutes. So PTL, blah, blah, blah. Looks at military service. Okay, yes. Okay, KLLM. They only gave you loads to hit minimum. Okay, I'm not sure which one. That's what JB Hunt does too. We did a deep dive on JB Hunt. I'm actually thoroughly impressed with JB Hunt. I wouldn't recommend them as a starting company, as it seems they want a little bit of experience, but it could be something good. Ozark hires at 3 months of experience. 59 cents per mile starting out. I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Welcome in, everybody. Hey, I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in here. It really means the world to me. Last time I did a deep dive, it was literally me watching it on my own and somebody else. Actually, my now woman she was living in, never mind, doesn't matter. There was literally 3 people in the live stream at one time, one random person popping in, and 2 of the ones were people that I knew or myself. So it's cool to see all you guys in here. I'm thoroughly impressed with that. 19 viewers, I know it doesn't sound like much, but to me, this is huge. So I appreciate all you guys for being here. We're going to go ahead and dive into, we're going to take a look and see if Pepsi or Coke have restrictions as far as experience levels. Somebody had asked about that. They're hoping, yeah. Used Rubbers asked, I'm hoping Pepsi or Coke hires new drivers for my wife's sake. Now, Used Rubbers is Jake. He actually will flip over here. This is his truck over here. If you guys are getting started in the trucking industry and you move from having no CDL all the way up to getting in your own truck, send a picture, dude. I want to fill this thing up. Let's go. All right, so quick search here just for Used Rubbers. We got him over there on the Discord server too, so we can answer him over there. What was I looking at? Okay, Pepsi trucker experience requirements. Okay, so Pepsi, to become a Pepsi driver, you generally need a valid CDL, Class A or B, and a clean driving record and some previous commercial driver experience, often 6 to 12 months or more. So unfortunately, your wife, buddy, is not going to be able to jump in right away with that. She's going to have to go somewhere else and get a little bit of experience, and then she'll be able to team along with you there. I know that's what you were looking for. All right, what's the next company? They haven't had training for, a PTL hasn't had training for new graduates in over 3 years. Wow. Okay, so that's been a while. Alive every weekend or once a month. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to do it every weekend. I do enjoy doing the full deep dives for you guys. This live stream is actually replacing the deep dive for this weekend. Normally I pump out a video on Sundays, but this is going to end up replacing that. I ran out of time this week to be able to finish up what I was working on. Half the companies I was calling was not answering, so I kind of put a little bit of a dent in that. What other companies we got here? Let me scroll back up to the top and see. Western Express, we did a deep dive on them already. Check that out on the OK or No Way playlist. U.S. Foods, let's go ahead and take a look at them. U.S. Foods. Hey, put a, I'm going to do this. I find it so corny, but I'm going to do it anyway. Put a 1 in the chat. Oh, it's so corny. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a part of the Discord server, or if you're fixing to become a part of the Discord server. Go check that out. U.S. Foods. Let's just look it up. U.S. Foods. All right. Restaurant supply distributor. Again, in my opinion, I would not go for that. It's so much freaking work to unload trucks and drive the truck. I'd rather just focus on one or the other. Even with flatbed, you're not physically unloading the stuff, hauling it into stores. It is a little bit more work, but definitely not as much work as food service or food delivery. All right, we're going over here to careers. No, I don't want to give you my location. Okay, we got a chat bot popping up here. Yeehaw. Search jobs. Okay. Job title, driver. Delivery driver. We got one in Lubbock, Texas. Okay, we got a $2,500 retention bonus. What's that? Okay, build a career, U.S. Foods, main ingredients of the job, safety-driven trucks. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Physical requirements. Ability to lift, carry, push, pull 20 to 80 pounds of product repetitively during each shift is required. Comfortable driving and working in inclement weather conditions with frequent stops, 10 plus per shift required. Holy cow, that's a lot of work. If you're up for it, it's a job that's needed. I'm not going to discourage you from doing that. If that's something that you want to do, good Lord, we need to get McDonald's stocked up with foods. They actually use a different company to fulfill their logistics and stuff. But nevertheless, FMCSA Clearinghouse, this is your drug test, your alcohol stuff. All of that is in the FMCSA Clearinghouse. Must be at least 21 years of age. Not AIDS, good Lord. Must have a valid Class A issued by the state of legal residence. Okay. Minimum of 6 months of commercial driving experience, any industry, or 3 months commercial driving in the food and or beverage distribution industry required. So this is another one that's going to require a little bit of experience, to be expected. I do believe these are more of a local position place. So you're going to be kind of in the same local area or regional. So they do require some experience, 6 months or 3 months. So it's not a whole lot. Like I've always told you guys, if you're getting into a company, the first thing you want to do is get started in the industry. 6 months, 3 months, 4 months, a year of experience. I generally say 6 to a year. And you should be able to move on to something if you're not happy. Just get your experience, get started, and get out there. Ability to operate a manual transmission preferred may be required in some locations. Okay. So let's get into this for half of a second here. This whole not requiring truck drivers to know how to drive a manual transmission, in my opinion, is absolutely bizarre. I hate it. I don't think it ever should have been put into place. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of companies have automatics. But in a situation like this, where it may be required in some locations to drive a manual transmission, this might hang up a lot of people. So unfortunately, man, it stinks so much that these truck driving schools, major carriers, are doing away with manual transmissions. It's definitely a good skill to have if you go to a specific company or truck driving school to get a manual transmission and not to have the auto restriction on your license. Long term in your career, it's probably going to be beneficial. Short term, it's probably not going to matter that much. So that's my opinion on those. Read, write, English. Okay, so I'm not seeing a whole lot as far as pay or like the stuff. So let's go ahead over here to Indeed and look up U.S. Foods driver reviews. Indeed. All right, cool. Horribly unprofessional. That's the first thing I see. Okay, we've seen a lot of 3.7 stars, but we're down to 3.2 for here. Lots in this upper range here, but lots of reviews overall. This is 4,905 reviews. So comparatively to a company that's got 153 reviews to someone that has 400 or 4,905, this 3.2 stars is going to be more accurate because you have a larger pool of people applying or filling out applications for. So, or not filling, I'm sorry, I'm speaking out of my mind here. Putting in reviews for the company. So the larger pool will give a more accurate result. Same thing goes for pretty much everything in life. All right, salaries. Let's take a look at here since we couldn't find anything on their website. Mechanics are at $36 an hour. How in the heck? How is a mechanic making more than a truck driver? Shout out to the mechanics. We need the mechanics. I'm not trying to diss you guys, but it seems like this is a little bit more dangerous and more risky, especially food delivery, parking in busy city streets, getting in and out of the truck. Seems like it's a little bit more of a risky job, more skill required. That's a little weird to me. But you're looking at $30 an hour. Not bad. For that much work, it's up to you whether it's worth that. Like it said, up to 10 stops per night, 20 to 80 pounds of moving, lifting, pushing, pulling, all that fun stuff. Is it worth it for you? That's something that you guys are going to have to decide on that. Let's check over here on the reviews real quick. Awful, 1 star out of California. 1 star out of Florida. Looking for another job. Stay far away from this place. Hard work. This is the highlight for me for U.S. Foods. Hard work. Would I go to work for U.S. Foods? I'm going to tell you guys right now, no. That's too much work for me for not enough money, in my opinion. But you guys got to get in here and look at the reviews to see if it's worth it for you. 3.2 stars is kind of in the middle of the field. So you want to see what's going on. Anything repetitive that's happening, be on the lookout for that. But it does look like a local position. So that definitely might be something that you want to look at. All right, back over here to the comments section. Let's flip over here to get off of that. Used Rubber is still in here, rocking and rolling. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Snunley, boom, I got that. LOL. Okay, Ozark Motor Lines. Ozark is a big company. I've seen them around quite a bit. I'd rather go to see one of the comments. What's up, Discord family? All right, that's what I'm talking about. A 0? Okay. Sant6 guy. I see you, buddy. Messing with me over here. All right, so we're going to do one more here, and then I have got to get out of here, guys. I apologize. I didn't expect this to be as busy of a session as what it has been, but it's awesome. I've enjoyed doing this so far. I might hop on to one of these maybe once a month or something like that. We'll see how it goes if you guys are enjoying it quite a bit. Ozark Motorline. Okay, so we're going to hold off on that. I've got a couple of requests now for PTI. Let's go ahead and do a quick search of PTI. I know Ozark Motorlines is going to be one of the ones that I'm going to do a deep dive on. I'm not positive if I will do one on PTI or not. So let's do a quick overview of them. I am growing in size a little bit, and as far as the channel goes, I'm so thrilled with it. I didn't think, it's been about 1.5 years now since I've been serious about making this channel work, and I didn't think it was going to be, I'm lying. I was really hopeful, and I've been pushing and working hard to make it something more than just a channel. And the ultimate goal of this channel is to help out drivers. And in my opinion, in the world where you give value, you will get value. So I'm trying to add as much value to you guys as possible so you guys can make some good decisions as far as your truck driving career is concerned, help you avoid some pitfalls. Next week's video, I'm going to be telling a story of a gentleman at the company that I work for who was involved in a pretty tragic accident. So look forward to that. There's a lot of lessons that can be learned in mistakes too. Not everything happens perfectly. Things do go off the rails, and I am the guy too that learns Thomas Edison style. Okay, so are we talking PTI Professional Transport Inc. or PTI Paper Transport Inc.? I'm assuming you mean paper transport. Drive for PTI. Okay, that's the one I'm going to assume. If I'm wrong, guys, sorry. Apparently there's another company that's called PTI. Who knew? All right, let's flip over here to this reaction section. All right. We're looking at locations on the East Coast. Minnesota, Wisconsin, Florida, Charlotte, Atlanta, one in Pennsylvania over here, Kansas, St. Louis, Missouri, all of that. Driving opportunities. We're clicking up here. Company drivers. Oh, okay. Let's see if there's anything for recent graduates first. Any company is going to accept some experience. Our accelerated program is a fast-track paid training experience designed to help recent Class A drivers, graduates quickly launch their professional driving careers through a mix of classroom instruction, hands-on practice, and on-the-road training. Okay, so I might have to do a deep dive on these guys here soon because it looks like they do hire recent graduates. 4-day orientation, small class sizes, ensure one-on-one training. 2 weeks of on-the-job training with PTI driver training. 2 weeks is not a long time to be sitting there with a trainer. I don't know. In my opinion, I don't think that's enough time. Same thing though. I did that. I only went with 2 weeks with a driver trainer. So it is possible. Car rental to get to orientation, great. Nobody wants to take a stinking Greyhound bus. Those are miserable. Paid $750 a week while being trained. Okay, so pretty standard stuff there. Requirements is a Class A CDL. Must be. Okay, so you're going to have to go through a truck driving school to get your CDL here. It doesn't look like they offer a CDL training program. 21, safe driving, no DUI, medical, a DOT medical, graduation certificate from a CDL school. Okay, those are the requirements to go to work for them. What are they paying? Company drivers. I hate when companies don't put anything as far as pay on here. But good news is we have plenty of options to look for. Flexibility, home time. Okay, their website sucks. It's not going to tell anything. Indeed.com/ wait, what company? PT paper transport. Oh, Google. I can't type, guys. I'm so sorry. Transport Inc. Okay, reviews. Working at paper transport. Okay, 3.5 stars. Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Salaries. Since we didn't see anything on their website about salaries, we're going to take a look over here. Truck drivers, $28.94 an hour. Again, we're looking at these reviews. Call up the company, get the cents per mile, get the average miles per week, and be able to figure out how much you're actually going to make. This is not going to do it for me. $28 an hour. I know that they do more regional or over-the-road driving, so an hourly rate is not how truckers are paid. Long haul driver is $71,760 per year. Now, the good thing about Indeed is this is being reported by real people, not the company, so you can see some actual numbers here. That's not bad, especially for a new driver, not at all. So generally, you're looking at about 2,000 miles a week for a first company. So let's go ahead and do that. 71,760. Divide that by 52 weeks in the year. You'll get your weekly pay of $13.80 per week. Divide that number by 2,000 miles per week, and it's looking at about 69 cents per mile. I don't know if that's accurate or not. That seems way off for a company that's going to start you out. That doesn't even seem right. So some numbers are wrong here. Yeah. So again, this is with backtracking it. Call the recruiters up, see what they have to say. Warehouse worker. Okay, we are starting to run out of time here. I am going to take the last few minutes here of this and answer some questions. Anything you guys want to know to a degree here, we'll go ahead and answer that. PTI, yep. I don't know. What's my verdict on PTI real quick? I'm not going to answer that. Call the recruiters. They have hardly any information on their website. Indeed is kind of hit or miss. So in my opinion, I would give the recruiters a phone call, see what they have to say, compare that with the Indeed reviews, and figure it out from there. We might have to do a deep dive on PTI, and see a bigger picture of what's going on with that. Okay, so where are we at here? Ozark, we're probably going to do a deep dive on those soon. Paper transfer, got it. What companies in the Pacific Northwest do people like? I don't know a whole lot about where these companies are located, and it's mind-boggling to me to find out that there's some companies that are not going to hire you based off of where you're located, especially a national company that claims to work in all 48 states. So it's mind-boggling that a large company that covers the entire United States wouldn't hire you from anywhere in the entire United States. And the only factor that I could think about that is their lanes. Do they have customers going to that area often enough to get you home? That might be a factor, but I've heard a lot of people in Maine having issues getting employed with any of these companies. It's crazy. I would always tell them you are willing to relocate. If it's something that's going to get you the job that you want and get you started, tell them you relocate. Spend the first 6 months out on the road. Take home time maybe 2 or 3 times during that time, and then work on getting to a company that's more local. My first trainer told me it was illegal to turn right on red. Some places it is. You got to be careful turning right on red as a truck driver. Number one, you have to swing wide. So if you're going to be coming cross lane, you got to look at all the lanes, and it takes time for trucks to move. So it's not illegal, but it's something that you're definitely going to have to slow down for. Pay attention to what's going on around you. And in general, just wait. It's really not an issue to get out when you get that turn light. So I'd probably avoid that. That was at Night Transportation. Okay. My buddy is at Prime, and it's not going good for him. Since I put out that deep dive, I've got a bunch of mixed reviews on it. Some people hate Prime, some people love Prime. Um, in my opinion, it's a general starter company. I know I ranked it pretty high in my ranking, but that's based off of my research that I've done from what I could see from an outside perspective, never being a driver there. It seems like it was a good place to go to start, but I have heard some mixed reviews. So I think it all kind of just depends on who you get as a trainer, who you get as a dispatcher, the experiences you have there. I think overall it could be a good company to go to work for. Their pay is pretty good at 50 cents per mile, if I remember right. But if you're doing the lease purchase, you're going to have a terrible time. I seen another comment in here about lease purchase. Knight's lease purchase program is safer than Prime, in my opinion. Okay, guys, if you've never seen my channel before, avoid lease purchase like the plague. I don't care if it seems like a safe option. Just on a financial level, it's like renting a truck. You're not getting a whole lot of added value in it. You're paying way more for it. In overall, leasing anything is the most expensive way to own said thing. So I'd avoid that, even if the contract looks great, even if there's no flaws. A lot of these are predatory leases, though, especially in the case with Prime. It's not even a lease purchase. It's just a lease truck. You're borrowing the truck for a little while. You're paying money into it. While the truck is decreasing in value, you're paying more than that to make up that loss of value in the truck, and Prime is walking away scot-free. So that's my opinion on that with as regards to lease purchases. Check out my videos on that, and I go into more detail explaining why lease purchase is a terrible idea. Ryan W. said, "Thanks, bud. Keep this kind of stuff up between the lives and deep dives." Okay. Yeah, I think I might do some more of these. I've had a lot of fun. It's been a lot busier in here than I honestly ever anticipated it being. I figured I'd have maybe 5 or 6 people in here. 24 people right now. We're just over an hour. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your busy day to come and listen to me talk. It's mind-boggling that you guys give a crap at all about what I have to say. I appreciate it so much. It really does not go unnoticed. A couple of quick shout outs here. Everybody that is a part of the Discord server, I love you guys. I'm so happy to see all your guys' stories of doing a great job getting started in the trucking industry. Some of your guys' mistakes and boo-boos, used rubbers, I'm looking at you. If you're not in there, he ended up bumping a tree just the other day, blew out a tire. Not a big deal. Things happen, but I'm so happy for you guys, all you guys in there. I want to hear more of your guys' stories. If you guys want to join the Discord server, lots of drivers in there from lots of different carriers, and they're sharing information. I'm in there from time to time, saying hello, seeing what you guys are up to. If you have gone from not having a CDL to getting into your first solo truck, I want to put your picture up here on this wall. I've only got 4 trucks so far. I need more pictures. Send me your pictures of your first truck. Over there on Discord is a great place to do that. Let's see where we're at here. Good stuff. My name is Icking on the cake. The name is icing on the cake. Sorry, I can't read worth a damn. Wishing your channel success. Definitely like the time and effort you put into your videos. The information is very informative. Hey, buddy, thank you so much. Warthog, A10. I appreciate you, buddy. Quick shout out to the merch. If you guys want to purchase something, I don't rack these things up. T-shirts are $20. The mug is pretty cheap too. A couple of things over there if you want to get some merch. Super comfortable. I'm wearing one now. Nice little shirts. You don't have to purchase anything if you don't want to. It's just an added way to show your love and get something out of it too. Memberships on the channel are $2 a month. Not a big deal. If you don't want to do that, that's fine too, but it's a great way to show added support. And in fact, let me quick give a shout out here. I completely forgot to do that. Dashboard members. I just got another member not too long ago. Hulk Salmon 65. Appreciate you being a member on the channel. You guys are awesome. It's just an added way to show support for the channel. Nothing major. You don't have to. I'm here for you guys at the end of the day. So, all right, what else we got here? Last little Last little check out of the comment section here. Thank you, Trucker219. You're welcome, Snunley. Good stuff. Thank you, Corey. Appreciate you. Get me in that truck. Keep up the great work, man. Aaron, you're awesome, man. I will definitely keep at it. I'm here for you guys to help you guys out, make some decisions. Another quick little story here. When I started trucking, I didn't have this information. I didn't know what I needed to pack for my first trucking job. Videos like the things that I'm putting out and many other channels are putting out didn't exist for me when I was trying to go through truck driving school and trying to get into my first company. So I know the struggle of trying to find information. So I want to do the research, throw in a little bit of my experience to help you guys out. The goal of Trucker219 is to help drivers. Simple as that. No matter what that might be, whether a story where we can learn something or a deep dive or just what to bring to your first truck driving job, I want to bring you guys information. I want to teach you guys as best I can with my experience so you guys make it in the industry. And overall, that's going to be it for this live stream, guys. I love you guys. I really do. The growth of the channel is great. Join the Discord server. Get your merch. Shoot me pictures of your trucks. I want to put them up. All the deep dives on all the companies are on that okay or no way playlist. This live stream does not replace deep dives. It's just going to replace this week's video. And I might do more live streams like this. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and sign out. I got to go get my kids. Love you guys. See you guys soon.